Hey, what's going on, guys? I have not actually recorded a video in a while, and it's not because I didn't love you all. It was because it's the winter time. We had Q1 here. There's a ton to plan for Q1 and the remainder of 2025, but also it's winter time, so it's ski season. So I've been skiing a bunch with my family and my kids. So today I'm going to walk you through the account-based marketing strategy template. We really do use this at the software company that I work at today. I run demand gen for them, and we have a 30 plus marketing team. We do over 100 million in revenue, annual recurring revenue. And so this is a tool that we use that I'm going to walk you through these three sections here: the strategy guide, the brief example, where I actually include an example from a company called Clay. And then I'll even include the AI prompt that you can just copy and customize for your business. And lastly, I will actually drop that prompt into Chat GPT. You can use whatever AI tool is is relevant for you or you'd like to use. And I'll show you how you can just create the full ABM strategy brief for your business today and whatever target vertical that you're going after. I will include a link to the strategy template here that you can access and just make a copy of the template here in Google Docs. I'm going to try this. I'm going to keep all templates free, totally free for the first 30 days, no matter how meaty they are or how light they are. For the first 30 days, I'll keep them totally free. And then there will be a paywall after them for some select templates. So let's jump into it here. If you are responsible for targeting or building pipeline, for your sales team and creating demand for them, this ABM strategy template is for you. Um, we actually use this. We use this today, and I'll start with the ABM strategy guide. I'll go through this step by step, so you can get a good sense of how we use it and how we outline our strategy, and then I'll show you how to create one on your own. So first, uh, we just start out with an introduction, defining the business context of what we're doing here. And the intent there is to align stakeholders as well, identify key stakeholders that will be participating in this initiative to reach out to these targeted lists of accounts and the personas at those accounts, and and run sales and marketing activities and campaigns against those accounts to generate demand and ultimately close won customers, which will lead to revenue. And so there's an identifying of key stakeholders. These are very involved initiatives. Then you'll document the ABM vision of like what does it mean to be successful here. We go into the goals and objectives of the campaign. So in this case, it's pretty straightforward. You just want to set clear and measurable objectives, starting with your revenue target. Maybe you want to improve deal velocity, influence pipeline. We all have different reasons for running ABM types of initiatives. Ultimately, it tends to be drive revenue growth, but there are different KPIs and success metrics that you may be using. And then it really helps to include milestones in a timeline here to set expectations of what will be achieved in a certain amount of time. Then we get into the target segments. And so in this case, when you think about segments, these are different market segments. They could depend on the company size. It could be industry vertical, but these are segments of the market that you're going to target with your initiatives. And this is such an important piece of the puzzle. If I could emphasize the importance of getting this right, when I've talked to sales leaders before in developing an ABM strategy with them to help them develop pipeline to hit their quarterly numbers, it can be very difficult sometimes for sales leaders and even marketing leaders to choose one market segment to focus on. There can be a tendency, I've seen this, to just want to cast a wide net and target everybody, and it just doesn't work. And so use the segment criteria to identify the characteristics of the segment and the accounts that you're going after, and then clearly document that in an ideal customer profile down here, where you're getting into firmographics, technographics, buying signals. These ABM campaigns really are bringing together so many of the skill sets developed through your marketing career, from industry research to value proposition alignment, ad campaign generation, content creation. It's all here. It all comes together in these strategies. So then you'll build out a target account list. These are actual company names with domains, the accounts that you're going to be targeting, and you can tier them based on the prioritization and how many resources that you're going to put towards them. So if they're really high value accounts, which you'll have a fewer number of them, you'll do higher value activities that cost your business more resources in capital and time and human resources, versus some of the tier 2 or tier 3 accounts that you'll do lower, more automated activities, lower cost, more automated activities. And then you want to gather the key contacts. These are the different personas at those accounts. And this may, depending on the size of your accounts, this could be 2 contacts or personas. I don't recommend anything less than 2. In most cases, you're looking at 3 to 5. And in some really larger enterprise accounts, you're looking at 5 or 10 buyer personas that you may be targeting and developing content and value propositions for those different buyer personas. Then we'll go into the play design. So what does it actually mean to run this account based marketing play? And that includes tailored messaging. It includes a channel strategy of what channels you're going to reach out to them on. It includes multi-touch engagement, so a sequence of touches over a period of time. Then we go into content planning. So think about this as, now that you've identified the accounts and their personas and their pain points and needs, goals and desires, you want to develop the content to support them throughout their buyer journey. And so we cover that in here, as well as content by platform. And so I think so it's not only by stage, but it's by platform as well. And so I think this content framework, which I've included here, is very helpful just to identify the stage, the goal of the stage of that particular piece of content, and then the different types that you may use for the different platforms. So, getting to the end here of the actual outline of it, then I'll walk you through a real example. And so here you've got to include the resource planning. So how much are you going to go spend and put towards this? You'll define the team roles, the scope of technology requirements on the team. So, what tech are you going to need? Marketing automation software, ad platform software, sales engagement software, data enrichment software. There's lots to include here. Maybe direct mail campaigns. You'll want some of that software. So you may have that. I often encourage folks to just use what they have when you start, before you make a big investment in tech. I certainly don't think you need a robust ABM platform to get started. You don't need to spend 60 or 80 or 100,000 a year. And then lastly, a clear outline of the measurements and KPIs, the key metrics, and the reporting cadence of when you're actually going to report out on this to the different stakeholders internally on your team. All right. Hopefully that was helpful, just to give you an idea of how we think about building out an ABM strategy brief. And then I actually include a brief here. I won't spend too much time on it because I really want to show you how to create your own quickly here using AI. And so here's what an actual brief might look like. It goes into the introduction, starts out with the key takeaways right up top here. So if you read nothing more, you would understand what this brief was about and what the key takeaways are. Then we get into goals and objectives, the target segments here. Here it is, 500 plus employees, annual revenue exceeding 100 million. You go into the ICP, the target account list here, the ABM play and design, followed by the content plan. So here are some actual examples of what these ads and white papers might look like to support your personas at the different stages in their buying journey. Really interesting. You've got the ROI calculator here, product comparison guides. So this is for Clay. Clay is a very interesting and powerful data enrichment platform. I won't go too much into that, but you should check it out, clay.com. Really powerful. We've been using it recently to do some really interesting things in finding accounts, finding the contacts and their contact information at those accounts, and then leveraging signals from different platforms to reach out to these folks at the right time with the right content. Then we go into resource planning. So just quickly outline where you're going to spend the money and the technology required, and then the measurements and KPIs. So that's actually what a plan might look like. And you could build this for yourself and then circulate it with your boss and other stakeholders at your company to get approval on the plan. And then you go execute it, and you have to mobilize resources cross-functionally to do that. So lastly, let me just walk you through. I included a prompt here. So you could just simply copy and paste instead of having to do all this work yourself. You copy and paste this prompt. You go into ChatGPT or Gemini, or whatever tool you want to use. You paste the prompt in, just as I'm showing you here. Let's say you update your name. So let's pretend that you work at Asana. The strategy should focus on penetrating. Let's say the target account segment was enterprise marketing agencies. Asana is a project management tool. And so I'd imagine these large marketing agencies that are handling big Fortune 500 accounts have a bunch of project management that they could leverage the Asana software for. And let's say that with the goal of generating, how about 10 million in revenue within 12 months. Okay. The brief should include the following sections. I include the sections that we have above here, and then we hit go. And so this script will now run, and as though you were running the ABM program at Asana, this could be the actual output that you use as a starting point. I just want to say as a starting point, it gets you to have a big advantage and head start, but then you want to copy and paste this, put it in a Google Doc, and then customize it and edit it based on your requirements, or further prompt this to modify certain sections of the document here. So you can see it working through the different plan, going into great detail with specific information just on the basic prompt that you gave it above, with recommended tech stack or potential tech stack that you could use. So really interesting. I hope this is helpful to help you build out your own account-based marketing strategy. I'll include a link to this below. You can download it, make a copy of it, and use it going forward. I will see you on the next video.